This video is gonna be fun to make. I'm actually really excited. Might be long, but you know what else is new with my videos. Okay, let's begin. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. If you are new, if you're not new, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marina and I'm kind of excited. This has been like a whole 4 days in the making, and I know that doesn't seem like a long time, but I've been having fun these past 4 days watching this show. As you can tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about The Wilds, the new Amazon Prime show, The Wilds, that just got on there like I think a few weeks ago. I just got done watching it for the second time to make notes for this video, and I'm like ready to discuss because I feel like you guys need to watch it. You could watch this video of me basically spoiling it for you, but you won't understand what like I'm feeling unless you watch it yourselves, okay? Just to be clear, this will have spoilers, but I don't really know what you expected. I'm just gonna be talking about the characters and you know what I liked about the show. And there's not much that I disliked about it. There's nothing I disliked about it. So I guess I'm just gonna be talking about what I liked about it. Great, fun, amazing. The show is centered around these girls that are stranded on an island. They go on a plane, it crashes in the middle of nowhere, and they land on an island, and they basically have to survive months on this island. And you know, you find out along the way how they got on the island and their backstory for each character, and how like what happened to them back at their home affects them and how they live on this island. It's very interesting. Like I said, I don't think you're gonna understand it unless you watch it yourselves. Like, I'm actually so excited. This show is phenomenal. I don't really know who has Amazon Prime. I've had it for a while, but I've never used it. I can finally put the account to good use. But yeah, I'm just gonna get started with the characters. Gonna give a little rundown. Gonna start off with the one I hate the most in this show, Gretchen. So Gretchen, you know, she's kind of like the person behind why all of this is happening, the evil white woman behind all of this. She's the one that puts these girls on an island for her experiment, for her gynotopia, whatever the hell that is. Literally, this woman is evil. Like, she's made out to be such a saint throughout the show because, oh, she doesn't kill people. She's gonna like help them. Like, it's all gonna be a part of like some big mission for women and feminism, but yet she's like leaving these teenage girls on an island to fend for themselves, basically. It's kind of sick and twisted, very sick and twisted, and I hope jail time in the future. No, that's not good enough. Whatever is worse than jail time, that's what she deserves. So I'm assuming she got fired from her last job for being crazy, because it was mentioned somewhere at the beginning of the show that like her last job didn't hire her, or like they fired her for some reason. I'm gonna assume because she's literally a psychopath. She told the parents that this was like some retreat, and I don't know, I guess these kids' parents think that like they're really on a retreat, when in reality the retreat is really the island. This woman has just actually gone insane. She believes in a world where no men are involved and how women can fend for themselves and independence, and just she's the poster child for like what white feminism sounds like and what it actually is. That's what Gretchen is. So she's all about this gynotopia. Then we find out later on that it's not even just like a gynotopia, it's also, she's doing this to guys too. So she has these guys on an island stranded, has these teenage girls on an island stranded. She's just like doing this to multiple innocent kids. She's batshit crazy. It's actually kind of concerning. I'm really hoping that she gets some type of punishment next season, because there will be a season 2. Amazon just cleared it literally after I got done watching it the first time. Amazon said there's a season 2. I love the fact that I didn't even have to wait. It just got handed to me on a silver platter. That's so sweet. But since Rona is a thing, you know, I don't know when I'll be getting the season 2. So along with her not telling these families what exactly she's doing with their kids, she's also finding ways to blackmail them into not suing. So, you know, I'm going to talk about each of the girls in a second. But Martha in particular, she had some like terrible case, you know, like a legal case in her past when she was a kid, and she's using Gretchen wants to use that against the parents so they don't sue her for what they're doing to Martha, like literally their child. It's sick. This one is sick and twisted. It tells her son, apparently, I guess the sick and twistedness runs in the family because her son is in jail. We realized that, like in the last episode, her son killed Nora's boyfriend. So, you know, nothing about this woman is great. I hate this woman. Now she has the girls in some bunker in Peru, won't let them out. Literally crazy. But yeah, that's Gretchen. Terrible. Terrible white woman. Terrible. Next, we have Leah. So, you know, Leah, she's a good character. She's a great character. You're gonna notice I don't have any bad feelings about any of the girls on this island because they all kind of come in clutch when they need to. They all do what they have to do so everyone can survive. They all do their part. And I firmly believe that none of them would survive if one of them was not on this, like, because each of them contributed something very important. Leah, you know, she's kind of a team player. She does what she needs to do. She's on that grind constantly. Even when you think she's gonna give up, she just does it. However, her past, very sad. You're gonna realize that as these, like, as each episode goes by of like telling these girls backstories, you realize that it's men. Men are the problem. Men are the reason why these girls have traumatic past. Like the only time like men are actually in this show is when they're causing havoc around women. It's actually kind of realistic, actually. So, you know, good job for the creators of the show for that, because that's actually really realistic. When it comes to Leah and her backstory, I was very, very sad for her because, you know, she's a really sweet girl, and then, you know, she ended up being groomed by an older man, so that's really, really sad. And then like her anger for like him breaking up with her once he found out that she's not 18, which shouldn't matter. You wouldn't have to worry about that if you weren't dating a high school student, but whatever. Yeah, so she took the anger of him breaking up with her onto that island, so she kept on projecting onto people, and in turn they like blamed that man coming onto her on her. Like it was very messy. I was like, okay, we all need to calm down on Leah, because Leah, I love Leah. I think she's a little cuckoo. You know, there were some parts when she was on the island, she was going a little cuckoo, blaming, you know, Shelby. She was blaming Nora, which like in the end she was right about Nora, but you know, just constantly blaming people. She was right about the island. Obviously she was like, there's something going on, there's weird shit is happening, none of this makes any sense, and she ended up being right. However, the way that she kept on blaming people one by one wasn't the way to go, because it didn't work in her favor. Everyone thought that she was insane, so she should have handled that a little differently, but I understand. Now, her and Fadden's beef or whatever in the middle of the show was so stupid. She was basically mad at Fadden for reading the man that she was dating, like he's an author, so he wrote a book. She brought the book with him. Fadden went through the book, and like I guess that made Leah very upset. I understand, but also like calling her a slut and all the, like a lot of like misogyny on the island was taking place, and I was like, Leah girl, you can't, it's we're not doing that. Oh yeah, she also tried to go in the water to like die because she was sick of being on the island. And you know what, I understand. It's like the second to last episode where she just low-key gave up and just went into the water to die. I was like, Leah, I mean, glad that Rachel saved her in the end, but geez. And then later on in the bunker, because you know, after they get off the island, I guess they're stuck in some bunker place, she manages to escape that too. Leah's really like, she's with the shit. Like she might seem a little weak in the beginning, but she will like toughen up as like when the going gets tough. She's ready, and I appreciate that. Okay, one of my favorite characters. Let's get on to Rachel. So Rachel's all about the hustle. She's very intense, and you understand that once you get to know her character better. You get to realize like why she's like this on the island, because as soon as they got stuck on the island, she was like yelling at people to do their part. Like she was not with the shit. She was like, you guys need to do your part because I'm not getting stuck on this island because y'all want to be lazy and like pointing people out. And it was just like, okay, I like you, but you were very intense. Like I was like, ooh. So yeah, she used to be an elite swimmer. And you know, it was actually really sad, her backstory as well, because she hit puberty at some point, you know, like her body grew. And I didn't know this, but apparently elite swimmers have to have like gymnastic size like bodies in order to like commit to the sport. I was not aware of that, so something I learned. She grew a few inches, you know, hit puberty, and that led to her feeling like she wasn't good enough and like she needed to shrink herself in every way possible. And then she ended up getting an eating disorder. You could see that she was like in hospitals back and forth, and it was very, very sad. Like it wasn't good. And then along the way you realize like she felt like she wasn't good enough in her family because, you know, Nora, her sister, and her parents were like book smart, I guess. I don't know how to describe it, but she just felt like she wasn't a part of that. So she felt like being a part of sports would make her like feel noticed, which is also really sad because her parents were low-key kind of blocking her out at some points. I was like, wow, you're not seeing the signs, because like if you paid attention, it's very obvious that she was like going through stuff, yet I feel like no one saw it except for Nora. But also she nearly let Nora die in the ocean. I don't know what that was about. Like Rachel's really all about the hustle, but she nearly let her sister die in the ocean to get that little box thing that they thought was going to get them off the island. I was like, girl. I love seeing her small character development as the show goes on, because she realizes that determination does not equal perfection at some point. Like she realized that like she has to like let her dream go and just be. Like take a woosah and just be. I liked that. But then like her arm got bit by a shark. And where do we go from here? Into season 2, because that's basically how the show ends. Just gets sunk underwater by a shark. I need season 2 immediately. Next we have my girl Martha. Look, I love Martha. What a sweetheart. Literally so sweet, so nice, positive. And then you get her backstory. So freaking sad. She broke her back when she was younger. And while she was like going to recovery to get it fixed, the guy that helped her through recovery was also molesting her when she was a child. And like you could tell that she was blocking it out by staying positive, and like it was just really, really sad. So sad. And when I got to that episode, I was like, oh my god. I was like, oh my god, because now stuff was adding up, because like she was one of the few people on the island that were like positive throughout the whole thing, and like actually genuinely positive. Like she tried to have an open mind when it came to everything, helped console people when they were feeling bad. I was like, okay, I was ready for her character like backstory, because I needed to know what, because no one's that positive all the time, not when you're on a deserted island. When she killed that goat, I gasped. I audibly gasped. I was on my bed and I was like, oh, like she killed it with the rock. She got a rock, and it was just because you know she's been a vegetarian the whole time, so I was like, there's no way. I thought she was gonna get the stick. And just like, but no, she got the rock and she just repeatedly threw it on the goat's head. I was like, oh my god. Ooh. And then blood all over her. Like, whoa. Martha, phenomenal character. Phenomenal. I hope all these girls get better at some point, but especially Martha, because whew. Next we have Toni. You know, I have a crush on Toni. Toni is my girl. Like this is it. I think this is also like one of my favorite characters. No, she is my favorite character, I think. I have a tiny crush on Toni. I understand that she was mean, but we're all a little mean. Sure, she might have been a little aggressive along the way when it came to her meanness, but you get, you know, I get it. You know, she obviously has issues, like internalized issues that she needed to face, but you know, she can't do that on a deserted island. you know, being in and out of foster homes, her parents basically not giving a damn about her. Obviously she's gonna have some internal struggles, and it's gonna be projecting onto people. You know, when she first came on the show, when I first saw her, I was like, okay, I can't wait to get to your backstory, because she was instantly just like mad. I mean, I would be too if I was on a deserted island, to be fair. I would be too, but yeah, she was constant frown on her face. I was like, you're gonna be interesting. And she was a great character. You know, it's very sad what happened between her and her ex-girlfriend. I liked them together. I thought they were really cute. And then, you know, her girlfriend broke up with her. Good job, because although I love Toni, I would not stay in that relationship either, because she's not okay. She needs help. I think by the end of this, they all need help. Equal amounts of helps. Probably no, some more than others, but like help. Her and Martha are like best friends, so she's always trying to protect her and stuff. But I was confused, because when Martha was hurt in the beginning of the season, Shelby wanted to help, but yet Toni was like, no, you don't get to help, you back off. So I was like, Toni, you gotta let someone intervene, because you don't know what you're doing. Martha's leg is like swollen, you're just touching and like poking at it, and you can't. Later on, you realize sexual tension between her and Shelby. It all made sense. I didn't notice it, but I guess like everyone else did, because when I looked on Twitter, everyone was like, well, we saw this coming. I was like, I didn't. But yeah, that's Toni. Love her. I have a crush on Toni. I do. It's really bad. Throughout the season, she got a little calmer. I think it was because of Shelby. Those two were really cute together. I'm gonna get to them later, but yeah, she got calmer as the season went on, so like she became even more likable to me. Phenomenal character. Let's go into my next favorite character, Fadden. I need every one of these characters to get off her back. All of them were like kind of being a little rude and disrespectful to Fadden. This girl that gave you all her clothes. You guys would be freezing on this island if it was not for Fadden and her suitcase and her clothes, you know. So I was like, why are y'all being so disrespectful? She provided the goods. What more do you want? Obviously, she could have helped with a little bit more, but also she made a fair point. Y'all are wearing her clothes. Y'all are yelling at her wearing her clothes. Audacity. Like, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. We're not doing that. Fadden's one of my favorite characters. Do I think she should have read Leah's book? No, but you know, we move on. Just like they did, we all move on. She should have helped with the house building. I don't know why she kept on refusing to help with the house building. Everyone had their part, and Fadden was being a little lazy, but also they came at her sideways and like wearing her clothes. So I would be a little pissed off too. Regarding her backstory, her dad is evil. What evil man? Blaming his infidelity on her. Blaming his infidelity on his daughter. Sick and twisted. Men are all sick and twisted, but like Fadden's dad is really just terrible. Now, with that being said, I don't know why she sent his nudes, I think, or was it like his messages to other women? I don't know. She sent something to like his whole contact list. I don't know what she thought was gonna happen, but either way, the dad is in the wrong. So now she's gonna be stuck at some boarding school and like living hell. The all girls cultural boarding school or something like that when she gets back, if she gets back, because we don't know. They're in the middle of Peru. Who knows what's gonna happen? But yeah, her dad, terrible human being. How is your infidelity her problem? Like, how is that her fault? I was very confused. You are blaming her for you cheating on your wife. Like, what? And then the mom was getting mad. I was like, okay, we all need to calm down. Like, why is everyone on Fadden all the time? Like, my gosh. As soon as like the girls on the island realized that Fadden was the MVP for getting them a whole waterfall, they got off her back. So thank you for that. You know, she already gave you the clothes. Now you guys have fresh water because of her. You better be grateful. I don't want to hear nothing else. I don't want to hear nothing else. Y'all wouldn't survive without Fadden. Anyways, let's get on to Dot. Dot They really needed Dot. She was basically the leader, even though she didn't really want the title. That's what she was. She was the leader for all of them. You know, she kept the inventory going, made the signal fire. Her and Shelby went to the same school, apparently. That's her backstory, kind of. Shelby thought that Dot told the school that her boyfriend was cheating on her. No, Shelby, your boyfriend's just really, like, it's obvious. I was confused why Shelby was blaming that on Dot, as if like that has anything to do with their situation being stranded on an island. But yeah, Dot is the drug dealer of their school. She drug deals to get money for her dad's medicine, because her dad is like her dad's really sick. I don't know what he has. I don't think they mentioned it specifically, but like he's bedridden, like severely, like not hospitalized, but he can't move without her help. He needs all the medicine he can get. So she drug deals. Has a crush on her dad's caretaker. I hope they get together. Hopefully, if she ever gets back home. That's all. We're only gonna hope for the best there. Now, what really got me in her backstory was the fact that she had to kill her dad because he asked for it. I was like, what? I was like, whoa. A tear went down my face. I was not expecting that to be, and then like he gave her this retreat as a Christmas present. So like it made it a lot worse. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, it was also very sad. I only want the best for Dot. She deserves the whole world. Like seriously, what a great character. But also I'm confused. So she met up with Gretchen before this whole trip. So I want to know what the deal was between her and Gretchen. Because yes, Gretchen said that like she'll get like the CPS off her back and stuff if she goes on this trip. But Dot was like, you're giving me all this for free. What do you want in return? And then it cuts to black. So I want to know what Gretchen asked of Dot before she went on this trip. Because obviously Dot knows something. Like she knows something. She wasn't the Confederate, but I just want to know, what the heck did Gretchen tell Dot, the evil woman? What did she tell this teenager to get? So please let me know that in season 2, whenever season 2 is going to come around. That would be very nice. Next character, let's get on to Shelby. Shelby, a lot to unpack with Shelby. A lot. She's one of like the most interesting, I feel like, out of the characters, with like her whole backstory and her character as a whole. Very interesting. From the get-go, I was like, you're very perky, very chirpy, and those never end well when it comes to like how they were brought up. So we realized that she's a church girl, you know, pageant girl as well, raised Christian, and along that comes, you know, homophobia. And it is showcased on the island, you know, being homophobic towards Toby. It's internalized homophobia, but still. Y'all are stranded on an island and you got time to be homophobic. That's crazy. When she kissed Toni, I was like, aw. Because they're really cute together. Her and Toni are very cute together. When they were fornicating in the woods, I was like, there's a time and a place, but you know what? Might as well, since you're stranded, might as well, you know, nothing else better to do. So while they were picking berries, they were doing the thing in the woods. I really hope they last. I really like them as a couple, but something tells me that they didn't. I don't know. I feel like in season 2, we're going to see the backstory of what happens in their relationship, and it's not going to be good because they're both equally a mess. With no counseling involved, no help. It's going to be season 2. I can already picture. It's gonna be so great. Oh my gosh. So yeah, you also find out that she wears dentures. Her like these teeth are like gone, and she's very insecure about that. Keeps that secret on the island until like Leah basically makes her tell everyone. So while we were watching the show, I got to like one of the episodes where like she tells Leah this monologue from some Shakespeare play, and she's like, I'm gonna say this at like one of the plays, and then Leah was like, you know that like this is about like a child going against their parents' wishes and wanting to live life as their own and not what their parent wants. And then Leah was like, oh, then I'm just not gonna do it. That's very disrespectful. That's not what God wants, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't realize that, but that foreshadowed her backstory. That was like in the beginning of the season. I caught it the second time going back. I usually don't watch shows like the second time back to back, but with this I just had to, because it's a lot. It's only 10 episodes, but just a lot. Straight hours of just like, you need to go through it again in order to get the full picture. What happened to her friend is really sad, you know, because Shelby kissed her friend and then it got back to her dad, and then it made, you know, Shelby push the friend away, and then that led to the friend dying. Very, very sad. And then when she started crying in the middle of her like performance at one of the pageant shows, the actress that plays Shelby deserves all the awards. Every single one of the people in this cast deserves an award of some sort, but especially her. When I saw that scene, I was like, oh, we have like an award winner on our hands here. This is no joke. Episode 8 is one of my favorite episodes because like she plays it so well. I don't remember the actress's name, but Shelby, oh my god, like I'm especially interested in her character now because she has a shaved head. They went through her file is thick with papers. Like they hinted at a dissociative disorder. It didn't get brought up again after that, so I'm very like, I need to know what's going on. Also, her dad can go to hell. Micromanaging her diets and stuff, like, it's just weird, very weird, you know, saying that he won't love her if like she comes out as gay. Basically, that's basically what he said. He didn't blatantly say it, but he hinted at it. Terrible man, terrible. All the men in this show, you will realize, are terrible. Basically menaces to society, but it's not like it's anything new. Next character we have is Lynn, aka Jeanette. You know, the girl that died in the first episode. I want her to come back. I don't know if it's possible for them to bring her back in some way. However, I want it immediately. Her character is so interesting, and I didn't think we'd get a backstory on her considering she died in the first episode, but then like nearly towards the end we get a whole episode about how she ended up in this experiment. Turns out she knew the whole time and she was just a Confederate. She was like a part of the experiment. She knew what was going to happen when she got on that plane. I want more flashbacks of her in season 2. Is that possible? I want it to be possible. Amazon Prime, if you're watching this, just please. She met Gretchen before the island trip. And like then we get to realize like her backstory. She's a grad student. She's from Australia. We find out that like she got drugged in high school and was assaulted, and you know, ever since then she's basically hated men. So she wants to be a part of this experiment to show what women are capable of and how they're not like some dumb bimbos waiting on like the arms of a man, basically. And I was like, okay. So when she died, I was confused because I was like, so once we found out her backstory and how she got on this island, how did she end up dying? And then we find out that she fell, like splat into the water over the dock, basically hit like it, like like the way she fell. I was like, oh no, she needs to get hospitalized immediately because there was like bruising everywhere. I don't remember the man's name. The man who's also part of the experiment that helps out Gretchen, whatever his name is. Why would he not tell Gretchen? Because, you know, as soon as I saw the bruises, I was like, she needs like help, like act like. And then she ended up dying. So I'm actually really mad. I want Lynn back. If it's possible, more flashbacks. I would appreciate some more flashbacks, but I don't know. I don't even know how that would work. But please, more creators, if you're watching this of the show, please like give me what I want. We also find out like she didn't want to really go on the trip anymore when she saw that the girls were all drugged and unconscious because, you know, none of them got consent when it comes to this experiment that Gretchen forced them to do against their will. She sees all of these girls drugged and unconscious before going to the island. And she's like, I don't want to be a part of this anymore because it reminded her of her past and what happened to her in high school. And she was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to be a part of this. And then as soon as that happens, kasplat into the water. It's very tragic. R.I.P. Lynn. What a great character. Next, we have also one of my favorites, Nora. So, you know, Nora, I feel like everyone's gonna dislike Nora, but you know what? I love Nora as a character. Everyone's not gonna like her because she's one of the Confederates, and I'm just like, get over it. It's not like, you know, she's some bad person. If anything, Gretchen's the worst person on the show, if I haven't made that clear enough. Basically, while Nora was grieving over her dead boyfriend that died by Gretchen's son, like, Gretchen decided to give her this information about an island, like an experiment she's doing, and asked Nora to be a part of it while the girl was grieving. That's called manipulation if I've ever heard it. So yeah, I don't blame Nora. The way that like Gretchen explained it, of course, it made it sound a little appealing. A world without men where you could find independence and be who you want as a young girl, as a growing woman. Blah. I was like, you're evil. Like, this woman is evil. I hate Gretchen. But yes, I love Nora. I don't blame her for anything. However, her relationship with Rachel, yeah, when she aired out like Rachel's dirty laundry regarding like her not being able to be a swimmer anymore, not getting into Stanford, I was like, oh, so we're gonna talk. Oh, okay. Like, she's just talking like a lot. And like, I don't remember what episode it was, but oh my God, airing out all her business. I was like, okay. Because at some point, you know, Rachel had it coming, considering that she left her in the middle of the ocean to die. So I don't even feel bad. Rachel kind of deserved that. So, you know, the boyfriend that she got, it was cute how they met. He was kind of awkward. I didn't really like him. It's not that I didn't like him. I didn't like what he had to say about Rachel. Calling her like crazy and a psychopathic because she likes sports and is dedicated. I don't know what he thought he was going to get out of that. I don't know if he thought Nora was going to run into his arms after he basically called her sister crazy. No brain. However, it's tragic the way he died and how Nora found out. She basically found out through Instagram. That's very sad. That's very sad. She basically broke up with him because Rachel didn't like him. Because he although I didn't like him, he had a point. He was like, your sister's opinions matter more than your own, and that's why you're breaking up with me. And I was like, damn, because he's right. And you know, it's not good that he's right, because you notice throughout the whole entire show that she's all about protecting her sister, and how she thinks about her matters the most, and who she hangs out with. It's sad because they were actually a really cute couple. I didn't like him, but it was a cute couple. And then like when we found out she was a Confederate, I was like, okay, that makes sense. I wasn't like that surprised. I was like, this makes the most sense. Like, because I was like looking at all the girls and I was like, well, you're kind of calm. Like, she knew what to do in like crazy situations, kind of. Like, she was just very calm about everything that was going on around her. So I was like, I wasn't surprised when we found out. However, when she put Leah in a ditch, literally a ditch in the middle of the woods, I was like, oh my goodness. Like, she's dedicated to the craft. She is dedicated to whatever this experiment is. And you know what? I can only applaud her because she did a good job lying throughout the whole entire show. I didn't really see any faults with like any of her lying and stuff. So until that moment, I was like, wow, you know, you're doing great. And then Leah made her way out of the ditch like she does, you know, because Leah's that girl. And I don't know what's going to happen next. It didn't really show anything because then the season basically ends there. Nora's character is also very interesting. Like, the way that she got on the island, I wasn't really expecting that. I wasn't expecting her to get her own episode either, because Rachel had her own episode, and since they're sisters, you get to see her story within Rachel's story. But her story was very good too. Her backstory was really nice. I have officially gone through all the characters. Now I need you to watch this show. I don't know if like you could tell, but I'm like obsessed with this show. I like the idea of a show centered around teenage girls and how they're basically, you know, going through hell in the society we live in of just men doing whatever they want with no punishment. I would like to see that. I would like to see you guys watch the show. It's already getting a season 2, so I don't know why you don't just like start it. Tell me what you think. Because the idea of the show is excellent. The fact that there were barely any men in this show, and it was told by the creators that season 2 is not going to be about the boys on the island. It's still gonna center around the girls. I was like, thank goodness, because it's not a show for like boys. Like this is like and not like it's not like this is basically centered around teenage girls and what they have to go through in this patriarchal society that we live in. And it's so interesting and how that affects their way of just living as a society of women, of just teenage girls. It's so great. Like, I need you guys to watch this. The Wilds is an excellent TV show. Like, it's excellent. When I heard it was getting a season 2, I literally jumped up out of my bed. Like, it was an instant reaction because I found out as soon as I finished the show, and I was like, oh my god. You see what happens when a show is just good? It just gets a season 2. It's like, whoa, because I have a lot of questions and I want them to be answered in season 2. Like, it has me hooked. I'm out here along with the Wilds and the ride that comes with the Wilds, and I want you to be too, because this show deserves more attention. I know like a lot of people are talking about it on Twitter, so I know it's gotten a lot of attention, but I feel like not enough. I feel like it hasn't gotten enough, and I want to know you guys' theories about what's gonna happen. I'm not a theory person, but you know, I have an idea, but I don't even know. Because everything that I thought was gonna happen in the show, it took me on a ride, and nothing I thought was gonna happen ended up happening. Like, every time that an episode ended, I was like, I need to watch. I got through it in 2 days. I had to like pace myself. I literally had to, because I could have ended it all in a day, but I was like, you know what, I need to like slow down, because as the show like continued, it started picking up more and more, and I was like, I need to pick up more and more. And you're gonna get addicted. If you don't have Amazon Prime, get the free trial just for this show. Like, I'm not even kidding. Watch it. And that's all I'm gonna say. That's how I'm gonna end my video. So yeah, that's my video. If you have watched it already, tell me your thoughts in the comments, because like, I'm so curious. I really want to know what people are thinking and what they're gonna think about season 2, because it's gonna get wild. I don't know, like I said, I don't know when this season 2 is gonna come out, because you know, Rona is still in the air, and you know, sadly we might not get it for probably another year or 2. But you can just tell me what you think in the comments, and I'll probably heart and try to respond to every single one. And yeah, that's it. If you like this video, thanks. If you want to follow me on my social media, here it is. I interact most on Twitter, but if you like to follow me on my other socials to be nice, they'll be linked in the description below. Please watch this show. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, it's so good. It's really good, and you won't be disappointed. Like, seriously, watch it. I am done. Bye bye, everyone. Bye.